Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Tuesday, the 22nd of August. So looking at the euro dollar, and you can see it broke out the trend line that I drew on late yesterday. It's now sort of pulling back into that region towards that trend line. It's just on its daily pivot at the moment. It could just be breaking through towards this 4-hourly 8, and this will probably give me a bit of a guidance in terms of this morning and running through today a little bit at least, to see whether it sort of, if we get some sort of bounce off this pivot, or it just runs into the 8. If we get a bounce off that sort of level, I may be looking for a long at some point. I just need to let it run for a little while as well, just to get some confirmation in terms of the move. Now, any breakdown could see us running back towards the weekly pivot. It may just be chopping around this region, we'll see, but it does have a lot of support on the way down towards that weekly pivot in the S1. Not too sure it will get all the way down to previous lows, but anything can happen in these markets. It is a quiet week ahead relatively. We got a bit of data at 10 o'clock, the German ZEW economic sentiment, which barely moves the market, so I'm not expecting too much from what's planned. It's whether any speakers occur on the scene beforehand or during. So there's the euro. Let's have a look at the pound. Let's just come back out a little bit here first, and well, the pound is still erring on the weaker side here. It's selling off. It's certainly the weaker of the two, from what I can see here, effectively running in. It didn't manage to break through its weekly pivot yesterday, still running into this tighter range, and maybe off back towards the S1 at this rate. Now, it's already through the daily pivot. It, as I say, does look weak. May have just got a little bit, I don't think it's actually got oversold on this time frame, but may have got oversold on a couple of other time frames into this move that we've seen through here. I'm wary. I'd rather be selling it than buying it most of the time. It set up as lovely long yesterday during the morning, but wasn't the clearest of setups when it set up. It ran for a good while, just as the euro did. But here I'm a bit wary. I think if the euro starts rolling over, well, the pound will just confirm and run through, but may just run through towards the S1 previous lows there. At the moment, I'd rather, as I say, rather be on the more bearish side of the pound. Dollar yen, well, it's seeing yet another little bounce here at the moment. It's there is, as I said on the weekly update, there's a bit of a divergent sort of move going on there. It's weak, but it's there, and well, we could yet see it confirm now on the 4 hourlies. It's not quite diverged on this time frame. It's got a slightly higher low there, but all the same, it's pitching up at the moment. It's a bit like the euro in a sense, although this has actually pitched already through, and it's running towards yesterday's highs at this rate. May turn round here. It's certainly not clear what we're seeing at the moment. Again, there's a marginal divergence looking like it may be there, perhaps not on the hourlies, but perhaps in this case it will push up to yesterday's highs, maybe through back towards that weekly pivot. But certainly looks, the dollar looks like it's got a bit of strength at the moment through these markets. Aussie dollar, not the easiest one to work out at the moment. I'm still expecting probably more upside overall for this, more on a swing basis than intraday. It struggles a little bit some of the days. At the moment, yesterday, well, I say at the moment, yesterday just didn't get any kicker. Where the other markets all had a decent kicker through and pushed, it failed to get anywhere. It just effectively sat still. And looking at it from an hourly perspective, well, perhaps it's just consolidating at this phase here, and we will see another push up there. It's not the most positive of markets for me at the moment. Wouldn't be looking to trade it either way intraday. As I said, from a bigger picture, I still think it may have some further upside. The very fact it's not really sold off too much either may be that it has got some potential upside there. Any movement below the 50 though would really trigger the sort of thoughts of a downside move down towards yesterday's lows, S1 area, but very consolidated market at the moment. And finally, the Canadian dollar. Let's just come up to the higher time frames here. Canadian dollar still showing some strength against the US dollar here. The US dollar still slipping a little bit, but not very much. It's almost flatlining by the looks of things on the short term. Just come down to a 60. You can see what I mean. There is the daily pivot above, which I would imagine will get hit this morning at some point. But it is very, again, flatlining here. It's a bit like the Aussie dollar in a sense, in terms of lack of real significant movement either way. And the very fact that it hasn't retraced a long way may suggest, well, it may just retrace a small way, a short way, and then continue on its downward direction. That's pretty much it for me. As I say, very little main news today. There is some, actually with the Canadian dollar, is some retail sales at 130, which may give us a bit of price action. So there is some potential movement later on. But that's it for me. Have a great day. Bye.